When most people picture HOAs, they think of newsletters, pool keys, and annoying notices about trash cans. What they don't picture is armed police showing up to throw someone out of their own home. But that's exactly what Karen and her crooked HOA tried, until they realized they had picked a fight with the wrong family. Started on a Tuesday morning. I was feeding the horses out at my ranch when a white SUV with the HOA logo plastered on the side pulled up. Out hopped Karen, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched high on her nose. She gave me that trademark smirk that could curdle milk. "You've had plenty of warnings," she said. "Your time here is up. This ranch is under HOA jurisdiction now. Pack your things." I laughed out loud. My ranch had been in my family for 3 generations, passed down to me legally, with paperwork that clearly showed it was exempt from the HOA's tiny suburban boundary. But Karen didn't care. She had decided she wanted my land, and in her mind that made it hers. When I didn't move fast enough, she made her next move. That evening, flashing red and blue lights filled my driveway. A half-dozen officers in uniform piled out of cruisers, hands on their belts, demanding I vacate the premises immediately. My spouse and kids huddled on the porch, confused and frightened. Karen stood behind the officers with her arms folded like a queen watching her soldiers. But here's what Karen didn't know. One of those officers was my brother. And not just any officer, he was the county law enforcement leader. The actual chief of police. He walked up slowly, giving me a look I understood instantly. He wasn't here to remove me. He was here to catch Karen in the act. "Sir," he said formally, loud enough for everyone to hear, "are you refusing to comply with the eviction order issued by this association?" I played along. "What eviction order? This is my ranch. I have the deed inside." Karen jumped in before I could continue. "He's lying. He's in violation of dozens of HOA codes. I filed the paperwork myself. This property belongs to the association now." My brother raised an eyebrow. "You filed the paperwork yourself?" "Of course," Karen snapped. "Someone had to enforce the rules around here. That's why I called you." That was the moment she realized she had stepped right into a trap. Because the eviction order she'd been waving around? Completely fake. The county clerk had already flagged it as fraudulent. And the so-called police raid? It was actually my brother running an undercover sting, documenting every word Karen said to nail her for fraud, impersonation, and abuse of authority. Within seconds, the cuffs were out. Karen shrieked as she was spun around and arrested on the spot. "This is my neighborhood. You can't do this to me. I'm the president of the HOA." My brother didn't even flinch. "You're under arrest for filing fraudulent legal documents, harassment, and attempted unlawful eviction. And you're no president. You're a criminal." The case blew up fast. Investigators uncovered a whole network of scams Karen had been running. She'd been threatening multiple ranch owners with fake eviction notices, trying to strong-arm them into joining the HOA so she could line her pockets with fake dues. Some families had paid her thousands, too scared to fight back. When the trial began, Karen strutted in wearing her best suit, acting like she was untouchable. But the evidence was overwhelming. Dozens of forged documents, victim testimonies, and worst of all, the recordings from that night where she admitted, on camera, that she filed the paperwork herself. The jury didn't take long. Guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced her to years in prison and ordered full restitution to every family she had extorted. The HOA itself was dissolved, its board stripped of all authority. As for my brother, his reputation only grew stronger. Neighbors praised him for standing up against corruption, even when it came wrapped in a suburban HOA banner. And me? I went back to my ranch, back to the peace and quiet of wide-open fields. But every time I see a white SUV creep past the fence, I remember that night, the flashing lights, my brother stepping forward, and the look on Karen's face when her entire scheme collapsed. The HOA thought they could send the police to remove me. What they didn't realize was that the police were already on my side.